case you start thinking that you should maybe grind a mount, try to get a rare mount and put your all into getting a rare mount, I hope that this will make you think twice about that. What grinding the rarest mount in the game does to your mental health, by Chris 20194. Let this be a warning to anyone who ever considers to commit to an endgame grind. Mood spoiler: misery. There. I've done it. You're just gonna show us the butt? It's the pug mount. Yeah? Victor. The rarest mount. 0.25% of characters obtain the achievement in-game hunter. This mount doesn't even look good. Let's see the front of it. Almost no one has a picture of it. Okay, he's someone in Japan, of course. This mount looks like ass. It's very bad. Okay. It's horrible. There, I've done it. I've unlocked the rarest mount in the game. Unless you count PvP ladder rewards. Smash the upvote button, subscribe to my YouTube, and tell me what a fucking idiot I am. This is a story about how to turn your favorite pastime into an endless nightmare. It's not a nice story, and I am not proud of what I did. When Endwalker came out, I started to get into in-game content for the first time. Like a child, I always looked up tryhards that had all the status symbols. Ultimate weapons, Eureka armor, rare titles, you get the idea. I decided I wanted to become one of them, and thus looked up what the rarest mount in the game was. At the time of posting, it was still Victor, from killing 1,000 S rank and 2,000 A rank hunt targets in Endwalker zones. I knew from the start that the mount was incredibly ugly. I didn't even care. I wanted something rare and exclusive. So I committed to grinding 3,000 world bosses. This incredibly dumb decision turned out to be one of the worst mistakes I've ever made. Okay. In case you don't know, farming hunts works by joining a certain Discord server where you can set up notifications for specific targets in specific data centers. It's a fairly efficient system. Someone spawns the boss, pings the appropriate role with the location, and 5 minutes later you have an army of 100 people assembled. In the beginning, there were so many people hunting that racing the zone congestion was quite the game on its own. Even though there were 6 zones on 6 servers with 3 instances each, allowing for a total of 108 spawns per cycle, I was surprised at how long it took me to reach 100 S-rank kills. At 200, it dawned on me that I had massively underestimated what a relentless grind this mount is, but it was too late. I was already 2 months in. By the time I reached 300, it stopped being fun entirely. I really wanted to quit, but sunk cost fallacy is a bitch, even when you're aware of it. Now, you might be wondering, why didn't you just take a break? You don't have to catch every single spawn in your DC, and you'd be right. But the problem was that I wasn't after Victor specifically, but after the most exclusive mount. Hence the title of this post. I knew that the more time passed, the more people would finish the grind, and Victor wouldn't stay the rarest mount forever. Because of this, I felt immense pressure to keep going as fast as possible, no matter what. My God, do I sound stupid? This guy. 400 kills. Around this time, I left my static because of internal drama and started playing other games while idling in Limsa, camping the Aetheryte, waiting for spawns pretty much all day. Discord pings started to give me anxiety. The halfway point didn't feel like victory. It felt like torment. because I knew that instances were getting removed and the second half would take even longer than the first. Half a year had passed at this point. Again, I tried quitting, but I eventually realized that this wouldn't stop occupying my mind until I was done. 600 to 800 are a blur. I can't even remember much of it. Only that began to realize how detrimental this whole project has been to my mental health and how much I was neglecting IRL. Wherever I was constantly thinking of spawn times. And whenever something IRL came up, I was calculating how many spawns I'd missed out on. I had become completely obsessed with hunting fictional monsters in a video game, and my girlfriend tells me that I've become very distant during this time. Frankly, it's a miracle she didn't break up with me over this insanity, and for that I love her to death. 900, that light at the end of the tunnel began to show, but I couldn't even be happy about it. I also realized that I forgot to keep up with the A ranks, which caused me to miss out on being one of the first 1,000 people worldwide to unlock the mount. Another stupid arbitrary goal I had set for myself, because apparently I wasn't stressing myself enough yet. 1,000, the S ranks were done, but I really wasn't celebrating. I still had 800 A ranks to go. Another month later, and here we are. I finally finished the grind and feel nothing but regret. Instead of being my greatest achievement, this mount is now my greatest shame. If you're still reading this and ever considered going after this status symbol, please, for the love of all that is holy, don't do it. Don't do this to yourself. The mount doesn't even look good, and not many people will even recognize it anyway. If you ever see it in the wild, you shouldn't feel admiration. You should feel pity. This grind was extremely unhealthy and didn't feel the slightest bit rewarding. I am now seeking addiction therapy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Edit. It seems I didn't make this clear. What made me miserable was not hunting itself, but chasing whatever was the rarest mount at the time, which just happened to be a hunt mount, because that particular detail caused me the feeling of running out of time, which stressed me so much. Hunting can be fun. I didn't mean to put the hunting community in a bad light. Obviously you didn't mean to do. I think most of us would read this and say, this is not typical behavior. What you've done is not normal. Okay? In any community, the hunting community, the, I don't know, raiding community. Any mount farming community. This is gamer behavior. It is for WoW. This guy. I think that this guy deserves to feel at least a little bit of glory for doing this. Like, I feel bad, man. He got some golds, which is, like, got some Reddit awards. Chris 20194. I shouldn't be proud of you for what you've done. But I kind of am impressed. I'm a little impressed. I don't want to encourage you because this was clearly bad. But God, that mount is ugly. It's so bad. Hold up. Like, I guess I don't think you could have suffered more for a worse mount. Really. I don't think you could have found a worse mount to grind for in this way. Maybe if the mount looked better, then you'd feel better about it. Would you? I gotta talk to this guy. I gotta get in touch with this guy. It's not that bad. Okay, let's ask chat. It's an ugly pug. It's perfect. Well, you can say no if you think it's not. About 20% of people so far think that it is not ugly. Actually, what I should have polled you on is it worth it? That would have been the better question. I feel. Like, respect, okay? Respect to somebody that can set a goal and go after it with such a persistence and such a dedication. Now, there are limits to when, like, there's a limit to when that does become unhealthy, but I'm a little impressed. Yeah, I feel like somebody said there's mounts that are intended for a long-term life of game grinds. That's what this was intended as. It was intended as, they're like, oh, we'll put this mount in a game that'll take people like years to get. That'll be a nice thing. They'll just keep people busy for years, yeah? They're like, yeah, that's... It's like, don't you know? Don't you know how players are gonna actually treat this? Respect Square Enix for trying to discourage people with a mount that isn't worth it. 78% of chat said that this mount is ugh.